Well, hi everyone. Welcome back to Hand Me Down Recipes. And today we have Christina from Christina's Cucina with us. How are you, Christina?
I am very well. Thank you so much for having me on.
So tickled to have you here. And we are going to talk about your pasta and beans recipe specifically, which, of course, in Italian is, I'm going to let you say it because I screw it up.
Pasta e fagioli.
Okay. And it is not, just for everyone who's already listening to this and you're thinking, oh, Olive Garden. It's not.
No,
It's not Olive Garden. It's nothing like it. Actually, it's very
not
delicious.
that not that I've had it at
Right.
Olive Garden, but I've seen like copycat recipes,
Uh-huh.
and yeah,
I have had it, but it's been so I've lived in Northwest Montana for 20 a little over 25 years now, and we don't have one here. So it it's been a long time. I lived in Western Pennsylvania, that's where I grew up. So I'm sure I had it there once,
mhm.
maybe, but it's been 30 years or more. So
That's a
long
good
time.
thing.
Yeah, it's nothing like it. And I will say Northwest Montana, it's interesting everywhere we live, right? Different ethnic backgrounds. There's not a lot of Italians here.
Yeah,
So I grew up in Western Pennsylvania near Pittsburgh, and there's
there's
a
a
lot of
lot.
Italians there. So like real Italian restaurants, of course, and so we don't really have that here. It's kind of a sad thing.
Bummer.
It's more
We need to do
Norwegians.
something about that.
I know there is a few Italian restaurants, but they tend to be more like pizza places, right? Like New York pizza.
Or
Not really,
Italian
not
American.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. It's not quite the
yeah.
same, but that's fine. We have different things. We have lefse here, which I don't remember having in Western Pennsylvania. So it's all different. So tell us. We're gonna talk really quickly. The recipe is super basic in terms of ingredients, right? It's pasta, it's beans, it's
And
pasta
salt.
sauce,
That's it.
and cheese,
If you
Parmigiano,
want,
if
the
you want.
cheese is optional, so it can actually be vegan if
Right?
you want it to be, which
Sure.
is nice. You don't want to usually make the sauce with meat if you're going to make pasta and beans. Unless now you can do two versions. You can do the wet version, which is the one that I have the recipe for.
Mm-hmm.
But you can also make it dry, drain the pasta
Mm-hmm.
and add beans to it and more sauce. Obviously, it's the same, but it's very different.
Right.
And then you could have like ground beef in the sauce if you do
Right.
that. That's totally acceptable. Whereas you don't want like a bolognese in the wet one because the liquid like washes the sauce off the so you got
Yeah, it
pieces of,
doesn't stick. Right. Yeah.
yeah, it's just unpleasant and it's just not done for that reason. But do you want me to say like how to make it or
Yeah. Sure. Let's talk about it. Go ahead.
so this recipe is nutritious because you've got the sauce and the beans are your protein and you've got a little bit of the pasta, which is the carbs. It's not, for example, if you're going to make pasta and beans this way for 5 people, you're going to use half the amount of pasta that you would if it was going to be dry. So it's also budget friendly
Yeah.
because you stretch your pasta twice as far. The beans obviously are inexpensive,
Mm-hmm.
so you can soak your own beans and boil them and make them yourself, or you canned as long as they don't have chemicals added to them. Canned organic beans are perfectly good in this dish. And I've got a recipe on my site for the sauce that
Mm-hmm.
you would use for this. Again, very inexpensive, doesn't have meat in it. And so it's nutritious, delicious, budget friendly, um, stretches, like your pasta to go further. And kids love it,
Oh yeah.
absolutely flip for it. I don't know why. Maybe it's you can use different pasta shapes. You can use um, little mini shells. And there's actually, the thing that you see all the time about Italians hate breaking pasta to see people
Yeah.
break.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah. Right.
Okay,
Yeah. I grew up in
there's
North
an
Dakota.
exception to that rule. Well,
That's
there's two
this.
exceptions, and it's pasta and beans is one of them.
Yeah.
You can take spaghetti and break it into, or not just spaghetti, linguine, bucatini, any kind of long spaghetti, and break it into little bite-sized pieces. And you can combine them, different shapes, and you make your own type of
Oh, very nice.
pasta.
Yeah.
And every pasta has a different feel, taste. I don't know. I mean, it's all made from the same stuff, but obviously there is a difference. And like for me, I'm not a fan of linguine. It just, for some reason, I just don't. But if it's broken up into to make pasta and beans, it's totally fine. So that's one exception. The other exception when you can break pasta or to cut pasta is for babies and toddlers.
Oh, sure. That makes sense.
So that
So
they don't
what is the pasta that you use most often for pasta and beans?
either we break it, like I just said, or ditalini, which is the tubetti, sometimes it's called. It's like if you had a tube of pasta and it was cut into pieces.
Right.
I think tubetti is probably the most common pasta shape here in the US for that. That is like what we use more, or the small shells.
Right. So I live in a small town. We were talking before, and so my grocery store, it's very limited. Obviously, small town, not a huge population.
Right.
So I imagine if I really wanted to shop around, like go to like the neighboring towns and shop, I might be able to find something super fancy, imported, but I couldn't.
You could always do the chop, even just spaghetti, or linguine, or bucatini, or whatever you have on hand.
Right.
Basically, just make it into pieces that when you scoop it with a spoon, you would be able to eat it without long strands falling off.
Right. So I did, small shells, easy to find. Even the salad macaroni, which is, like little tubes, you can absolutely use that. And that was something for sure, like probably every grocery store has, I'm going to guess, especially,
Here's the caveat to that.
Yeah.
You want to make sure that the pasta that you're buying is not, if it says enriched macaroni product.
Oh, sure.
And then coming from Italy, I don't know what kinds of pasta brands you have there, but the U.S. government has recently, I don't know how recently, it's probably been maybe 10 years. Yeah, it's probably about 10 years that they said that they want the pasta coming in from Italy to be enriched.
Oh, okay.
So what happens is they're stripping the wheat, and then they're adding back niacin and, vitamins and whatever. But that is not a natural process. And I think that in the bread, the flour, what they're doing, the enriched, bromated, bleached flour, and the pasta, what they're doing is one of the big causes of a lot of people being gluten intolerant and getting celiac.
Sure. Yeah, it could be. Yeah, there's definitely some.
So I would recommend, if you're going to buy pasta, do you have a Whole Foods near you?
No. No.
No. This is the thing. When I see pasta that's really good and it's inexpensive, it's on sale, I stock up.
Yeah.
Because it keeps. It's not like
for sure, especially if it's a dried pasta, it'll keep forever.
Exactly.
Keep it dry.
So
absolutely.
Whole Foods actually has sometimes organic 100% durum wheat semolina pasta from Italy, which is what you want to look for. If you see 100% durum wheat semolina and nothing else, or maybe water or eggs, you're good. It's not going to do any damage to your gut as far as like all the stripping and doing things that they do. So I tend to focus on the healthier ingredients,
right?
Because if it's something that you're eating a lot of, if you eat it once a year, is it really going to make a huge difference? No. But we eat so much pasta that it's really important to me that that's what we're eating. So the proper ingredients and good ingredients is huge, not just in pasta and beans, but everything.
Right. We were talking before, I think before we hit record, that this is kind of a peasant dish, and I grew up in a family, we Serbian on my dad's side, and so we ate a lot of like cabbage, right? So definitely a lot of pasta. I mean, a lot of peasant food, and that's fine. I think peasant food is great. I don't know why. I think it's the best food, but the reason it's so good is because it's generally the freshest and best ingredients
Absolutely.
combined.
100% agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you've been watching or watched any of the Stanley Tucci Searching for Italy
I
episodes.
know of it, but no, I haven't watched it. I'm not a big TV watcher. That's just me. But yeah,
I'm
I
not
know of it.
either. I
Yeah,
never watch TV.
yeah.
I make it a point to
To
watch
watch
this.
that, I've heard a lot
It's
about it, and I
so good.
generally like him, but I haven't watched it. So
It's so good. If you
yeah,
love Italy, and it's like amazing to watch and see because he's giving the message that I'm giving.
yeah,
Only he's got a huge reach and I'm a little drop in the
yeah. Right.
bucket.
You're right. Yeah, exactly. My
So I'm
husband
like,
was it.
"Go Stanley." So he basically points out, different things, and he's done a couple times, 2 or 3 times. He's pointed out cucina povera, which is peasant food,
Right.
peasant cuisine, and this is definitely pasta and beans because again, it stretches, makes the pasta go further.
Sure.
It's got
And
beans and
beans
it's
are
good.
always cheap. Always cheap. Although even now they're
It is.
getting
It
more
is
expensive, they're always
definitely
cheap.
more of a winter dish, fall and
Right.
winter. Summer, the heat, you don't want to make pasta and beans this way and on a like 100-degree day in the middle of summer.
It
It's
wouldn't
just
interest me at all, actually. Like I wouldn't be interested in having it. But
it's comfort food.
right,
We're
right.
looking for light and fresh,
Yeah, we want
meals
salads
when
in
it's that hot.
summer and soups in winter. And my main blogging project is called Homespun Seasonal Living, and we are always talking about the seasonality of foods. And yes, it's important to eat foods when they are in season. Like we should
Correct.
eat watermelon in summer, and um, dried beans in winter, but it's also
Exactly.
about the style of food and then how food is cooked. That is also very
Yep.
seasonal. And so something like this is definitely a fall and winter dish. It's hearty.
Absolutely.
It's going to
Yep.
keep you warm when you go outside. It's going to fuel your body because it does have a really good balance of proteins and fat. And although I guess I'm trying to think, there is some fat in beans. There's
Good
not a lot of
fat.
fat.
Yeah, olive
Yeah.
oil.
Yeah.
If
And
if
olive
you
oil.
use yeah, if you use make your own sauce.
Right.
I can't. If you're using jarred sauce from the store, then I can't.
Well, I can my sauce,
Okay.
right? So and so there's no oil in there because you don't can oil. But yeah, because I grow my own tomatoes, right? So I
Oh,
can
right.
my own sauce. But
But you
but
could
there's no.
also use your tomatoes that you can, just plain tomatoes, to make the sauce.
Right, you could do that. You could absolutely. So, there's and that's the nice thing about this kind of recipe is you can do it a lot of ways. Just use the
Yeah,
best quality. So whatever you have, if you're someone who gardens and doesn't can, for like I do, for example, you just put your tomatoes in the freezer, then you can make the sauce anytime of year
absolutely. Yep.
with your frozen tomatoes.
There's so many options. So essentially, you boil the pasta the same that you would with making pasta,
Hmm.
and you wait until it's almost completely al dente.
Yeah.
And what I do is when I drain the pasta, say it's in a pot, I don't use a colander. I just drain off as much as, and this is totally up to, it's a subjective,
Yeah.
thing. How watery, how thick, how runny you want it. Once you've made it a couple times, you're gonna say, that was a little too thick, a little too much sauce. I think I'd like it a little more runny.
Yeah.
Leave a little bit. You can also take some of the water that you're running, pouring off, and keep it until you get to your.
Right.
I don't need to do that because I've made it so many times. I drain it so that it's right at pasta level. Put in your beans and, keep it cooking because you want to heat the beans up.
Right.
And the last thing, you spoon in the pasta sauce. And what you can do is when you're spooning the pasta sauce, I just take a little bit out. I can do it also visually. I can see how it's the way I like it. But again, somebody making it for the first time, taste it.
Yeah.
Does it taste? It's got to be flavorful enough. So you've got to put enough pasta sauce that it's got good flavor. If you overdo it and you put too much and you're like, oh, that's really rich and too thick, put a little bit more water in, add more salt if it doesn't have enough salt, because it's important that it's got enough salt.
Right.
So you don't want to oversalt the water because you're keeping some of
Keeping
the
the
water.
water in. Yeah. Yeah.
So that's the only thing. Once you've made it, I would say once you've made it twice, you're not going to need a recipe
No.
because you're going to remember, oh yeah, this is about how much I poured off last time. It's a little too runny. I'll pour off a little bit more. And it's super easy. Children can make it.
Right.
It's that easy.
Yeah, it
And
is
that's
very
it. Three
easy to make.
ingredients.
And it's the kind of recipe we talk about sometimes here on Hand Me Down Recipes. It's the kind of recipe that if you are new to cooking, you'll have success. You can't
Yeah.
ruin this. You can't. There's
No.
just you could not
And if
ruin
you
it.
have
You
pasta,
make it
it's
different.
hard to overcook it too.
Right. Right. So you know it's perfect for new cooks, but it's also great for seasoned cooks who are just like, I want something easy and quick. If you already have the beans cooked, for example,
Or in a can.
yeah, or in a can, and the pasta. I mean, it doesn't take any time at all to put this together.
And that
So
for us is a go-to. Instead of having regular pasta in fall and winter when it's cooler, we have it at least once a week.
Yeah,
it's just it's like, and everybody's like, ooh, pasta and beans, because it's so good.
Right.
And then especially if you put a little grated pecorino or parmigiano, grana padano, whatever kind of grated cheese you like, as long as it's, again, the real deal. You don't want that stuff in a green can because you'll just ruin the whole dish.
Yeah.
It just adds, like, oh, it's so good. I'm thinking about it now and it's like my mouth's watering.
It's so good. I was telling her that I made the recipe over the weekend, and I'm a household of 2, so it goes pretty far. It's pretty filling. So I actually have a little leftover, and I put it in a thermos for anyone who's interested in, if you make it and you have leftovers, if you prime your thermos by heating it up with some boiling water and then dump it out and then put it in there hot, and it's delicious hot. I did have to add a little more water after a couple of days, of course, because the pasta continues to absorb the water.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And so for that reason, my mom and I won't eat leftover pasta and beans.
Oh, you won't, because it's too thick.
We don't like the texture. It dries up and it gets, but my dad, my husband, my son, I don't know. It just seems like the men love it and the women don't.
Oh, yeah. See, no, I liked it, but my husband did not love it as much leftover for the second day. He said, he's an older man, of course, American man. And he's like, if it had a little meat in it, I might have liked it better leftover. And I understand that from his perspective. Yeah. From mine, it doesn't matter. But yeah. So so you say you eat it like once a week. How does your family eat it? Like, it's just like, what do you eat it with? It's just kind of a weeknight meal, obviously, or
either we tend to eat our main meal at lunchtime when we're all here. So, it's more of a kind of a main.
Yeah.
Because it's substantial. Yeah. We'll have it for lunch. And then, like, anytime we have pasta, have a salad afterwards. And that's pretty much it. With pasta, and I've actually done a post on this, what to serve with pasta, because I'm in a lot of Facebook groups where people are asking, they're doing roundups, and they'll ask for certain recipes. So somebody might be like, I've got a rhubarb roundup where I've got like 50 recipes, and I'll say, looking for rhubarb recipes. And then everybody drops their links of their rhubarb recipes. So I've seen so many people say what to serve with lasagna, what to serve with pasta, sides, And I just, growing up with Italian parents and doing things the Italian way, I'm just like, I just want to scream, no.
Just eat a salad, you'll be fine.
Never, ever, ever eat anything with pasta.
Right.
Pasta's its own. If it's on a plate, there's nothing else on the plate. That's why they say spaghetti and meatballs is American, because in Italy, if you have spaghetti and meatballs, the spaghetti's served first, and then the meatballs are served afterwards.
Right.
As the meat course, like they put the meat from the sauce on a plate, and everybody eats it with some bread, and then you have salad after that. So for pasta and beans, that's it. You just eat it, and then if you want to have a good part, kind of balanced diet with some vegetables, a salad afterwards with a little bit of homemade bread.
Yeah.
And that's
about it. You don't really need any. I'm going to be honest, you don't need anything else with it. You can just eat it by itself, which is really what I have done, because it's filling enough and it's plenty of a meal. So that works great. And like I was saying, I do like the leftovers. And so when you make it, you try not to make leftovers. Well, but you said other people in the house, but you don't.
I do. I mean, we try to make it so that it's just, we eat it fresh. But if there is leftover, my husband and father are like, they'll fight over it. They love it just as much leftover, because you just heat it up. And like you said, if you need to add a little bit of, but you can, like I said, you can make it so that it's dry.
Right. Right. And I
So
did not, and I like it a little, I liked it a little better wetter, but, and
yeah,
so I just added some water to it.
yeah,
And I will, of course, the texture does change. I don't want to pretend that it doesn't. It does change. It's still
yeah.
fine by me. I tend to be less picky, I think, but I was like, yeah, it's fine. So, but
There's
it was
nothing. There's
delicious.
absolutely nothing wrong with it,
Yeah.
and so it's just a taste or texture kind of factor,
Right.
whether you like it or not.
Right.
But
And
it's
I will say
definitely
when my husband made it, because my husband loves pepper. He loves pepper on everything. Almost everything. He's always like,
red
it needs
pepper,
black pepper in this
black
case.
pepper.
Yeah,
Okay,
he likes the red pepper flakes too, of course. But when he had the pasta, he's like, it needs pepper. Like everything in his opinion needs pepper.
yeah,
Even
my
if there's
dad loves
already
pepper.
pepper in it, it needs more. I
Absolutely.
don't know. So for anyone who's interested, he added it to his dish. I did not add it. I don't.
Oh yeah,
He like his.
you can add pepper, even
Yeah,
hot
sure.
pepper. I
Yeah,
mean,
sure.
my dad dumps like so much ground cayenne on
Oh yeah,
everything we make that yeah, you can make it spicy. You could even make the sauce like a spicy
spicy or
sauce.
sauce. Yeah.
But I for soupy things, unless it's like a Korean hot
Right.
tofu dish or something, I tend to not want the spicy with the hot because it's already hot
Yeah.
heat wise,
Yeah.
and then to do the spicy on top is
I
yeah.
am. I said this to somebody else. I had an Indian guest, and I said I am the whitest of white girls. And
You can't do
yeah,
heat.
when things get really hot, I just can't. I just can't eat it. I want to. I just because I enjoy food and I
Right.
enjoy hearing obviously about other people's cultural traditions and trying their food. But if it gets too spicy,
But
I
you know what I
physically
think you can
cannot do it.
do if you want to like eat more because it's
Uh,
really good for you too.
yeah.
Is you start really at the lower end of the spectrum with
Right.
just a little bit
Yeah, I
because
can do
I've
like a
gotten
medium usually, like a
right.
mild to medium, and then we're done. It just I
I've
can't get any
I've
hotter usually.
gotten way higher on
Have you?
the heat factor from doing that. So now when I have a plate of pasta, we grow cayenne peppers,
Oh, sure.
and I can eat an entire cayenne
Wow,
pepper
good for you.
with a plate of pasta now. I
Right,
couldn't before.
right.
So yeah, I think it's like you kind of and
Sure,
I
it
enjoy it.
probably is. It's like a lot of things. It's an acquired thing. You just have to
Right.
you get it, and so it is probably something I should try harder. But and I was thinking as I was making it for my husband, I thought some red pepper flakes would actually probably be delicious in pasta and beans if you like that kind of
Right. Right.
level of heat. I didn't eat it again, but somebody else certainly could. That's really a great idea. And how did you come by this recipe? Was it passed down through your family?
Oh, it's it would be like I'm trying to think of an American dish that would be kind of an equivalent that everybody in America makes it, and there's nobody would ever ask where'd you get the recipe because
All right,
it's
just
like a hamburger.
yeah,
Okay, so I mean if like I was interviewing you about American recipes and you're talking about making hamburgers and I said, who where'd you get this recipe?
yeah.
You'd be like, well, my mom, my grandma made, you know what I mean? It's
Everybody
just
made it. Yeah,
everybody, every single person practically probably in Italy. I mean, I don't know for a fact. I don't know. Maybe they don't make it in Sicily because it's warmer down there,
right,
but it's just a generic
right,
pasta dish.
right.
Pasta fagioli, and then there's what is it? Is it the Dean Martin song? Pasta fazool.
I think so. Yeah,
It's a dialect.
yeah,
Fagioli, they say fazool, and I think they even have it in some restaurants, American Italian restaurants. They have it on there that
sure.
way, and that's the other thing. You'll see a lot of these other recipes, like maybe Olive Garden, where it's made with a lot of vegetables. The sauce is complicated. There's just a lot of more to it. It's
Hmm.
not a simple dish. I don't think that that's the typical way that it's made. But I will say there are really like different ways to make the pasta and beans that are authentic the way it's made in Italy. And a lot of them, like they cook the sauce and then put the beans in and then they put the pasta. It's done in a different way.
Sure.
And sometimes they even like blend up the beans
Oh,
and make like a so there this is not just the only like this is the only way that you can make pasta and beans and don't make it any other way or it's not authentic. That's absolutely not the case at all. And I'm sure every family has their own way of making the
Sure.
dish. Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
the way the sauce is made and the way, like maybe they add the sauce first and then they put the beans in. I don't know. But this is my family, my nonna,
Mhm.
Karina, who was an amazing, amazing cook.
Yeah.
My mom will like talk about some of the things that she used to make and she'll just say, oh, the smell, like when
Yeah.
she would make these, because the ingredients were amazing to start with.
Right.
And then you have someone that learned from her mother how to make these local, dishes that are all regional
Mhm.
with the ingredients from outside.
Right.
And I mean, I don't know if you've been to Italy, but everything just tastes better there.
Yeah, that's what I hear. I haven't been, but that's what I hear. I have several friends
Like
who've
you pick
been
up a
overseas.
cucumber and you go to eat a cucumber, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, now I remember what a cucumber tastes like.
Right. Yeah,
Because the one,
I'm a big fan of like just let's try local first, right? So if you eat local food grown by good farmers, it will always taste better, right, than anything that's been shipped in from wherever.
yeah.
And I live in Northwest Montana, so I live in the great, like in the winter, it's winter
Yeah,
here. So
yeah,
you're
yeah.
not getting anything fresh local. So I get it. Sometimes you just got to buy something from the grocery store, but whenever you can, you will just, there's a huge difference. There's
Yeah.
a huge difference. There's a huge difference for me if I buy a locally grown potato than one that was even shipped from Idaho, right?
Yeah.
So, which is close for me. So, but it's
Right.
still, they're just better. I just think anytime you can buy, I
And then
realize it's
you
expensive,
grow
but
your
you can.
own things, and you said you
Yeah.
can them, so
Yeah.
you've got your own to compare it to, and
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
There's
there's
nothing better
something
than a
about,
homegrown tomato.
but there's something about, I don't know if it's the air or the water or the dirt or
Right.
whatever it is in Italy, that it's food is like, it's almost like the flavors, it's on steroids
Right.
sometimes.
And I think too, maybe it's a cultural thing. I think, right, their culture around food and our culture here in the United States around food is very different. And I think that has a
They
big
have food
impact.
police in Italy. I mean,
Yeah.
real life, like they will, like, you're making food that is not made the way it's supposed to be.
Right.
You're in big trouble.
Yeah. Right.
It's
And
got the,
yeah, there's just a different culture about it
yeah,
than we have. So it's, yeah, I get it. Yeah.
yeah.
I can see why that's true. That's great. And I know I read in your blog post, but you can tell us like the different kinds of beans that you would recommend for making this.
Oh, right. My favorite, now this is personal, cranberry
Oh,
beans.
sure. Yum.
They're also called borlotti. So they're meaty. And I don't know if you grow those.
I don't grow them, but we in eastern Montana they have a lot of bean and legume farms, so I get them from them. Yeah.
They're just the meatiest, yummiest beans, and they're
Mm-hmm.
really good in pasta and beans. But you can also use cannellini. You can use kidney. You can use navy beans.
Right.
Any really, I don't. I mean, I can't really think of. You probably wouldn't want to use lava beans, lima beans.
Oh, right. Yeah. Oh no, I
You
wouldn't
know,
enjoy that.
yeah, yeah. That I'm sure you could if you're a lima bean lover, maybe that
Right.
would work. Um, but yeah, I would stick to probably like kidney and cannellini if you're
Right.
gonna, or even
Which
maybe you're
which
gonna.
are usually generally pretty easy to find in the
Exactly.
any
Yeah,
grocery store, canned
yeah,
or dried. So,
yeah. But if
uh,
you do, if anybody's watching, they want to try it and they never had I think cranberry beans is probably either look for cranberry or borlotti
yeah.
and try those. I think everybody's going to have like a new bean favorite because they
Right.
just are so good.
Use your own. So there's a farm in eastern Montana that grows black garbanzo beans, and I
Black,
have, yeah, they're black.
really? I
Really,
never heard
and
of that.
I have some in my pantry that are dried, and I didn't use them for the pasta and beans, but I'm thinking about it just because I think I would really enjoy the color contrast, as the flavor is also awesome. But I feel like I'd
Do they
really
taste different?
no, not. I mean, maybe a little bit different, but not substantially different that anyone would really notice. But you notice obviously the color. You notice.
So if you made hummus with them, would it be more purple by the time it's done and
Boy,
blended, or
I've
is it
never
really?
blended it up, but yeah, it wouldn't be solid black, but it would still be like cocoa colored. Yeah. Yeah, it'd still be.
So Halloween hummus.
There you go. I'll send you some.
That's interesting. I've never
Yeah.
heard of that.
Yeah,
I
I'm
wonder.
trying to think of
I'll
it.
have to
I
check
want
and
to
see.
say it's timeless. I think the brand they sell it under like at the market is like Timeless Naturals or something. I'll look it up and make sure because I'm sure
And
I'm messing up.
I'm gonna check and see. I work with Melissa's Produce a lot.
Hmm.
They're like the biggest, fruit and vegetable
Yeah,
distributor, and I'm gonna see if they have it.
yeah,
They
yeah.
might have.
Black raspberry
I've
beans.
just never heard of that. That's
Yeah,
so
yeah.
interesting.
It's fun, and they grow these.
Oh,
This
and
is
pasta and cheese. Do you just mention that? I'm not
yeah,
even thinking. Garbanzo beans
right.
are huge in Italy
Yeah.
to do the pasta and beans.
Oh, there you go.
Actually, if I don't know if you saw it in my pasta and beans post, I linked to pasta ceci
Oh, okay.
because it's the exact same recipe, but you just use the garbanzo beans.
Beans. Okay, so there you go. So because I know a lot of people really seem to like garbanzo beans, like they're very drawn to them for whatever reason. That's their favorite.
Well,
So
they're
if it's your
really good
favorite,
for you
absolutely
too.
use it. Yeah, they are good. I like them. Don't get me wrong, but just what. So basically, use what you have in your pantry, though. If there's a bean that you like all the
Whatever
time
you
and you've got
like.
it in your pantry, use it.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
great.
Unless
Well,
it's lima.
right, yeah, which we don't like, obviously.
Actually, you know what? Somebody was it lima or fava? Lima. I think it was lima beans. We had a part like a summertime garden party that we did a post about.
Uh-huh.
4 or 5 of us, bloggers here in Los Angeles, and my friend Judy was the one that was making the main dish, and she did lamb kebabs on a lima bean puree. I want to say, and I heard that when she was making it, I was like, oh shoot.
Yeah.
Like I just was like, ooh, lima beans.
Yeah.
It was so good. I
Yeah.
immediately went out and bought lima beans to make it. It was that good.
I imagine I might like it pureed, like as a sauce kind of thing. But
Yeah.
yeah, there's something about the texture of lima beans that I don't love, and it's just obviously not my favorite. But anyone else, go, you do you. I don't judge. I just don't. It wouldn't be my choice. But
Right.
at the same time, if you served it to me at your house, then I
If
would
it
eat
was
it, and
made
you
like
wouldn't
this,
know
I
that I
think you
didn't
would
like it.
because it was
Yeah.
just it was just nothing like what you think of when you think of lima beans, and it
Yeah.
did have really good flavor. It was
Yeah.
and it went perfectly. The lamb skewers were on
Yeah.
top of it. It was perfect.
Oh, how nice, wonderful. Well, is there anything else that you want to tell us about the recipe before we hear about where to find you?
Pasta and beans. Just use the best quality ingredients that you can. The tomatoes are important. If you're not using your own homegrown tomatoes for the sauce, look for tomatoes that are. There's a lot of this would be another hour of discussing. When you want to know if what the cans of tomatoes that are just plain tomatoes, either chopped or whole or whatever,
Right.
quality check is very simple. Just break it down like this, because you can buy whatever you want as long as it just has tomatoes in it. You don't want sugar and things.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Open the can and take your finger and just taste it. If you make a face that it's sour or it just is like acidic or bitter or whatever, or just does not taste good, your sauce will end up tasting like that.
Right.
You can't get something good from something bad.
Right.
So what you're looking for, and your taste buds will tell you, is a sweet tomato flavor. Yes, it will need salt because most of them don't put the salt in it.
Right.
But you've got to put that aside and just, what is your reaction? If you taste it, you're like, wow, those are really sweet tomatoes. Because if you're going to make, for example, pizza sauce, you shouldn't cook pizza sauce. The tomatoes go on the pizza raw, just the way they are out of the can. Obviously, you add oil and whatever you're going to add. But if you put really acidic, bitter, sour tomatoes on a pizza, that's horrible. It's going to be horrible.
Right.
So that's what you want to look for. And on my site, I've got brands of tomatoes. I've got an Amazon shop where I've got the tomatoes that I approve.
Yeah.
And so if you start with that, people have written to me and said, I am never buying bought tomato sauce ever again. This has changed my whole life.
Yeah. Wonderful.
So,
and that what you said, I just want to drop. You said you can't get something good out of something bad. Like if that is not life advice, y'all, for like so much more than food, I don't know what it is. Like that. I mean, and that's really great advice for anything food and cooking related. And
But I
canning
think
too. You can't
people
get
don't
any.
realize that though.
Yeah.
Do they really?
Great. Well, Christina, tell everybody where they can find you online, please.
I am at christinascucina.com,
Mm-hmm.
and you can type in Google Christina's Cucina and I come up. I am on social media under the same username, Christina's Cucina, except I think on X it's Christina Cucina. Not that there's that many people left on X Twitter.
Boy, it's tough.
And I've got a newsletter. So if you want my recipes sent right to your inbox once a week, at the very top of Christina's Cucina, you'll see, I think it's subscribe here.
Right.
And there's a little box that pops up if you're on any of my recipes. And I do giveaways a lot.
Oh, fun.
Currently giving away a hatch chili cookbook.
Oh, so, sure. 'Tis the season. Because we're recording this in August. So it is 'tis the season for hatch chilies. By the time this comes out, it will not be in season anymore.
I'll have another giveaway by then that'll be more seasonal, I'm sure. So
yeah, wonderful. And we will include links to all of that in the show notes so everybody can just click and find
and thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much. This was great. Thank you.
Thanks, Kathie.